Hey guys, before we get to the Lost Sector, I'm just going to do a real quick build guide. It is K1 Logistics on the Moon. There are 2 overloads and 3 barrier champions in the Lost Sector. Getting on to the loadout, I'm going to be using Thunder Crash with Thruster, Catapult Lift, and Seismic Strike. You could also use Thunderclap if you would like, or you could use Barricade, and Storm Grenades, Pulse Grenades would also work. Moving on to the aspects. Touch of Thunder is what I use. It makes my Storm Grenades track, and it also would make your Pulse Grenades create ionic traces. Knockout heals me when I get a melee kill. Spark of Feedback makes the melee do more damage when you get meleeed. Spark of Shock allows my grenade to jolt targets, stunning overloads. Spark of Magnitude makes their grenades last longer, and Spark of Resistance makes me take less damage while surrounded. For weapons, I'm using an auto rifle for the barriers, a grenade launcher to get a lot of kills, and Leviathan's Breath to do a lot of damage to champions as well as the boss. I don't have an overload stunning weapon here because I'm using my grenades with Spark of Shock to do the overloads because there's only 2 of them. Moving on to the artifact, I have Amped Up, Counter Charge, Thunderous Retort, Electric Armor, Lightning Strikes Twice, and Shock and All. The 3 important ones here are Thunderous Retort, Electric Armor, and Lightning Strikes Twice. Thunderous Retort makes your super deal more damage while amplified or critical. Electric Armor gives you bonus damage resistance while amplified. And Lightning Strikes Twice makes your arc grenade cooldown shorter after throwing your grenade. Moving on to the armor, I'm using Heart of Inmost Light. On the helmet, I have Super Generation mods with Orb Generation mods. On the gloves, I have Orb Generation mods. All this is for powerful attraction, so when I use my thruster ability, it picks up all the orbs. And that's the charge emergency reinforcement. There's also a couple different variations that you could use where instead of emergency reinforcement, you could use grenade kickstart mods, so you can throw your grenades more. But when I'm trying to go through lost sectors quickly, I would rather have the emergency reinforcement rather than a couple more grenades per lost sector run. On the boots, since I'm making so many grenades, I'm just going to be using healing mods as well as some grenade cooldown on orb pickup. Since I'm using my thruster ability so much, I also have bomber and distribution. Alright, moving on to the Lost Sector. Right off the bat in this first room, we're going to have a barrier champion. I'm just going to handle it from right over here because it's the safest place in the room to do it from. Once you kill that barrier champion, there's not much of a threat left in this room, aside from maybe the sniper rifles. I would suggest killing everything in here. It could cause one of the doors to open slowly later on in the Lost Sector run. So I just kill everything for safety, even though it might take a little bit longer. In this room there is a barrier and an overload, but they don't usually get close enough together to combine their powers. I have 2 weapons with Demolitionist on them as well, just to make sure I can get my grenades back as fast as possible. In this tunnel to the next room, there is another overload. And then in this final boss room, there is a barrier champion. When you kill the barrier champion, 2 nightmares will spawn. Kill both of the nightmares, and the shield on the boss will drop. All you have to do from there is kill the boss. Overall, it's a decently short Lost Sector, although it is one of the longer ones, but with practice, you can cut your time down to the 3 to 4 minute range, making it okay to farm, but not suggested.